Hello, and welcome back to another journey through the colors of life, a series where we explore the remarkable stories, science, and beauty hidden within the colors that paint our world. Today, we turn our attention to the color blue, a color that has shaped human history, inspired countless artists, and touches your life in ways you may have never considered. Over the next 100 minutes, we'll discover how this color appears in nature, how it affects your mind and body, and how civilizations have treasured it, fought over it, and woven it into culture itself.
But before we begin, if you want us to cover a topic you like, leave a comment below. If you enjoy this video, consider giving it a like. And also subscribe to our channel so that you always know when the next video is released. By doing this, you help us not only grow, but continue to make content just like this. Thank you.
Whether this is your first time joining us or you've traveled through other colors before, I invite you to settle in, close your eyes if you wish, and simply listen. Let the facts wash over you like gentle waves. There's no need to remember everything. Just allow yourself to drift through the story of the color blue and let it carry you peacefully toward rest. So, take a deep breath, let the day fall away, and let's begin our exploration of the color blue together.
The last color humanity named. Here's something remarkable. Blue was the last of the basic colors that humans gave a name to. While ancient languages had words for black, white, and red from their very beginnings, many had no word for blue at all. Ancient Greek texts, including Homer's epics, never described the sky or sea as blue. Homer called the sea wine dark instead. This isn't because ancient peoples couldn't see blue. Their eyes worked just as ours do. But blue was simply less important to survival than red, which meant blood and fire and danger. Blue doesn't appear in foods that early humans ate. Blue rarely signals warnings in nature. So blue waited, patient and everywhere, until humans finally decided it needed a name. It's humbling in a way. The color that now dominates our world, that we see constantly, was once so unremarkable that it went unnamed for thousands of years. The rarity of blue pigments. While red pigments exist naturally in ochre and earth, blue pigments are extraordinarily rare in nature. This made blue the most expensive and precious color for most of human history. Ancient Egyptians went to enormous effort to create the first synthetic blue pigment around 2500 BCE, grinding minerals and heating them to specific temperatures. For thousands of years, if you wanted to paint something blue, you had only a few options, and all were difficult or costly to obtain. Azurite, a copper mineral, produced a beautiful blue but was scarce. Indigo from plants required complex processing. The finest blue, ultramarine, came from Lapis Lazuli, a semi-precious stone found primarily in a single mountain range in Afghanistan. Imagine wanting to paint the sky or the sea and not having an affordable way to do it. Blue on a canvas was a luxury, a statement of wealth, a color reserved for the most important subjects. The scarcity of blue shaped art history for millennia.
Lapis Lazuli, blue more precious than gold. Lapis Lazuli, that deep blue stone from Afghanistan, had to be transported along the Silk Road, traveling thousands of miles by caravan before reaching European artists. Once it arrived, it had to be ground into powder through a complex, wasteful process that yielded only small amounts of usable pigment. The resulting color, called ultramarine, meaning from beyond the sea, cost more per ounce than gold. Renaissance painters received it as payment or purchased it separately from other pigments. Contracts for paintings would specifically state whether ultramarine would be used and where. Artists reserved ultramarine for the most sacred subjects, the robes of the Virgin Mary, the heavens in religious scenes. When you see brilliant blue in a medieval or Renaissance painting, you're looking at something that cost a fortune. That blue represented devotion, not just to religious subjects, but to the craft itself, a willingness to use the most precious materials for art. The sky and Mary's robes glowed with the same blue, both infinite, both beyond earthly reach. The chemistry of blue, a molecular challenge. Here's why blue is so rare. Creating blue in nature requires very specific molecular structures. Most pigments work by absorbing certain wavelengths of light and reflecting others. But the molecular arrangements that absorb all colors except blue are chemically difficult to achieve and maintain. Red and yellow occur readily in organic compounds, in plants, in minerals, in living creatures. But blue? Blue requires special chemistry. This is why blue flowers are relatively rare, why blue animals are uncommon, why blue pigments were so hard for humans to create. When you see blue, you're witnessing something that defies easy creation. Blue is chemistry working at a precise frequency, molecules arranged just so, creating a color that nature treats as an exception rather than a rule. The sky is blue because of physics, the scattering of light. But blue pigments, blue objects, blue creatures, these are rarities, exceptions, small miracles of molecular architecture. Why the sky is blue. Let's talk about the most ubiquitous blue in your life, the sky above you. The sky isn't blue because of any blue substance in the air. It's blue because of how sunlight interacts with the atmosphere. Sunlight contains all colors, traveling as waves of different lengths. When these waves hit molecules of nitrogen and oxygen in the atmosphere, shorter wavelengths scatter more than longer ones. Blue and violet have the shortest wavelengths in visible light, so they scatter in all directions, filling the sky with blue. We see blue rather than violet because our eyes are more sensitive to blue and because sunlight contains more blue than violet to begin with. This scattering effect, called Rayleigh scattering, means the blue sky isn't a thing, it's an event. It's light dancing with air every moment, creating the blue dome we live under. The sky is blue because the universe is structured in such a way that short wavelengths scatter, and we are built to perceive that scattering as this particular, peaceful color. You live under an illusion of blue, but what a beautiful illusion it is. Blue in deep water. Water itself is actually slightly blue, though you need a lot of it to notice. In a glass, water looks clear. In a swimming pool, perhaps faintly blue, but in the deep ocean, water reveals its true color, a blue that deepens with depth, becoming darker and more mysterious as you descend. This happens because water molecules absorb red light wavelengths more readily than blue ones. Red light disappears within the first 30 feet of ocean depth.
orange, yellow, and green follow. Eventually, only blue penetrates, until even that fades into darkness. Divers describe the experience of descending into the ocean as entering a blue void, a monochromatic world where everything takes on shades of the same color. It's disorienting and peaceful simultaneously. The deep ocean is the bluest place on Earth, a blue that swallows all other colors, a blue that becomes darkness itself if you go deep enough. Water is blue by nature. We are, quite literally, living on a blue planet, a rare marble of blue suspended in the darkness of space.
These first 6 facts have taken us from the late naming of blue in human language to the chemistry and physics that make blue so special. We've seen how blue was precious and rare in human hands, yet infinite and free in the sky and sea. Blue is contradiction, everywhere yet elusive, common yet chemically challenging, the last named, yet now the most beloved. As you relax and continue listening, we'll explore how different cultures came to cherish blue, how it shaped art and fashion, and how this once unnamed color became the favorite color of more people worldwide than any other. Breathe deeply, and let's discover what happened next. Egyptian blue, the first synthetic color. Around 2500 BCE, ancient Egyptian chemists achieved something revolutionary. They created the first synthetic pigment in human history. By heating a mixture of limestone, sand, and copper-containing minerals to extremely high temperatures, they produced a brilliant blue powder that came to be known as Egyptian blue. This wasn't an accident, it was sophisticated chemistry. The process required maintaining temperatures around 1650 degrees Fahrenheit and understanding which materials to combine. The Egyptians guarded this knowledge carefully, using their blue to paint temples, tombs, and sculptures of the gods. Egyptian blue appears throughout ancient Egyptian art, on the walls of pyramids, on ceremonial objects, on jewelry. The color represented the heavens, the Nile River, and the universe itself. To the Egyptians, blue was divine. It was the color of creation, of life-giving water, of the sky goddess Nut who arched over the earth. For nearly 4,000 years, humans used Egyptian blue. Then, remarkably, the formula was lost after the Roman Empire fell. It wasn't until modern scientists analyzed ancient artifacts that we rediscovered how to make it. Blue knowledge, hard won, can be forgotten.
Indigo, the blue from plants. While the Egyptians mastered mineral blue, other cultures discovered blue in the plant kingdom. Indigo, derived from plants in the Indigofera genus, has been used for over 6,000 years. Ancient civilizations in India, Egypt, Peru, and West Africa all independently discovered how to extract this deep blue dye. The process is fascinating and labor-intensive. Indigo doesn't simply wash out of the plant. The leaves must be fermented in water, creating a yellow-green liquid. When fabric is dipped in this liquid and then exposed to air, oxygen triggers a chemical reaction, and the yellow transforms into brilliant blue before your eyes. It's like alchemy, like magic, watching blue appear from seemingly nothing. Indigo became so valuable that it shaped trade routes and economies. The plants that produced it were cultivated across tropical regions. The blue dye colored the clothing of royalty, the work garments of laborers, and eventually the blue jeans that billions wear today. Every pair of blue jeans is a descendant of this ancient plant-based blue. this fermented transformation that humans discovered thousands of years ago. Prussian blue, the accidental discovery. Sometimes the most important discoveries happen by mistake. In 1704, a German dye maker named Johann Jacob Diesbach was trying to create a red pigment. He used potash that had been contaminated with animal blood. Instead of red, he accidentally created a deep, luminous blue. This new color, called Prussian blue, was the first modern synthetic blue pigment. Unlike ultramarine, it was affordable to produce. Unlike indigo, it didn't require fermentation. Prussian blue could be manufactured in quantity, making blue suddenly accessible to ordinary artists and common people. The impact was revolutionary. Suddenly, painters could afford to paint blue skies. Blue fabric became common. Blue paint could cover walls, doors, and furniture. Prussian blue democratized the color, transformed it from a luxury into an everyday possibility. Japanese artists imported Prussian blue and created the famous Great Wave of Kanagawa print with its iconic blue waters. European artists filled their canvases with blue skies and blue seas. An accident in a German workshop changed the visual culture of the entire world. Blue jeans, from workwear to icon. In 1873, Levi Strauss and Jacob Davis patented work pants made from denim dyed with indigo. These blue jeans were designed for miners, farmers, and laborers, people who needed durable clothing that could withstand hard use. Why indigo? Partly because it was affordable and widely available, but also because indigo creates a unique effect. It doesn't penetrate to the core of the cotton fiber. Instead, it sits on the surface, which means it fades with wear and washing. Every pair of jeans develops its own pattern of fading based on how you move, where you bend, how you live your life. Those faded jeans became fashion. The wear patterns, the history written in fading blue, transformed work pants into cultural icons. Today, blue jeans are worn by people in every country across all social classes. A garment designed for manual labor became one of humanity's most democratic articles of clothing. Blue jeans are blue history, connecting ancient indigo fermentation to modern casual wear, connecting dye chemistry to personal expression, connecting all of us through this shared blue we choose to wear. Yves Klein blue, owning a color. In 1960, French artist Yves Klein did something audacious. He created a specific shade of ultramarine blue and patented it. International Klein blue, or IKB, became his signature, a deep, luminous blue that he used in paintings, sculptures, and performances. Klein was obsessed with blue. He believed it represented the infinite, the immaterial, the spiritual realm beyond the physical world. He created exhibitions where gallery rooms were painted entirely in his blue. He made blue sculptures. He even created blue performances where nude models covered in blue paint pressed themselves against canvases. The idea that an artist could own a color sparked debates. How can you patent a wavelength of light? Yet, Klein's blue was distinctive, mixed with a special binder that preserved its intensity. When you see IKB, you recognize it immediately. It's not just blue, it's Klein blue. His work reminds us that blue can be more than decoration. Blue can be concept, philosophy, obsession. Blue can be an entire artistic vision. Blue in stained glass.
Medieval cathedrals glow with blue light streaming through stained glass windows that have survived centuries. Creating blue glass was challenging. It required adding cobalt to molten glass, a rare and expensive material. The blue windows in places like Chartres Cathedral in France are famous for their particular shade, often called Chartres blue. When sunlight passes through these blue windows, it transforms the stone interior into a space of colored light. The blue mingles with reds, yellows, and greens, but it's the blue that creates the sense of heaven brought down to earth, celestial light made tangible. Those medieval artisans understood something profound. Blue glass doesn't just block light or let it through, it transforms light, colors it, makes it sacred. Standing in a cathedral with blue light falling across your hands, you're experiencing what people 800 years ago experienced. The same blue, still glowing, still suggesting something beyond the everyday world. Blue glass is frozen sky, permanence given to the most transient thing we know. We've now journeyed through human efforts to create and capture blue, from Egyptian chemistry to plant-based dyes, from laboratory accidents to patented obsessions, from work clothes to sacred spaces. Blue was difficult, but humanity persisted, finding new ways to make this elusive color part of our visual world. If you're still with us, and if you want us to cover a topic you like, leave a comment below. If you enjoy this video, consider giving it a like. And also subscribe to our channel so that you always know when the next video is released. By doing this, you help us not only grow, but continue to make content just like this. Thank you. In our next segment, we'll step back into nature, exploring the blues that exist in living creatures, from butterflies to birds to fish, and discovering the surprising ways that nature creates blue without blue pigments. Close your eyes if you wish, breathe slowly, and let's discover the blues of the living world. The blue Morpho butterfly. Structural blue. In the rainforests of Central and South America, the blue Morpho butterfly displays wings of the most brilliant, iridescent blue imaginable. When it flies, flashes of electric blue shimmer through the forest. But here's something remarkable. There is no blue pigment in those wings, none at all. Instead, the wings are covered with microscopic scales arranged in precise patterns. These structures reflect and interfere with light waves in such a way that only blue wavelengths reach your eyes. Change your viewing angle slightly and the blue shifts in intensity, creating that signature iridescence. This is called structural color, and it's how most blue in nature is created. Rather than absorbing all colors except blue, the structures manipulate light itself, bending it, filtering it, engineering it to produce blue through physics rather than chemistry. The blue Morpho doesn't contain blue, it creates blue from light and structure. It's blue as illusion, as architecture, as light made visible. Blue jays aren't really blue. Look at a blue jay's feather. Brilliant blue, unmistakable. Now, crush that feather. Break apart its structure. The blue disappears. What remains is brown. Like the Morpho butterfly, blue jays create their blue through microscopic structures in their feathers.
Tiny air pockets and melanin granules scatter light in precise ways, filtering out all wavelengths except blue. The feather isn't blue, it's engineered to make blue. This is true for almost all blue birds. Bluebirds, blue tits, Steller's jays, indigo buntings. They're all using structural color, not pigment. True blue pigment is so rare in the animal kingdom that only a handful of species possess it, and even then, it's unusual. Nature found blue too chemically difficult to create reliably, so instead, nature became an architect of light, building structures so precise, so perfectly arranged that they conjure blue from white light passing through.
Blue eyes, another structural wonder. Human blue eyes work the same way as blue jay feathers. There is no blue pigment in blue eyes. Instead, the iris contains a layer of tissue with a structure that scatters shorter wavelengths of light, blue and violet, while allowing longer wavelengths to be absorbed. This is called Rayleigh scattering, the same phenomenon that makes the sky blue. Your blue eyes, if you have them, are blue for the same reason the sky is blue, light scattering through a specific structure. All humans are born with the potential for this structural arrangement. Blue eyes appear to be the default when little melanin is present in the iris. Brown eyes have the same structure underneath, but melanin pigment masks it. Green and hazel eyes have intermediate amounts. So blue eyes are seeing blue eyes through the same physics that creates blue in the atmosphere. It's light recognizing light, structure meeting structure, the same blue principle operating at scales both microscopic and atmospheric. The blue whale, the largest blue. The blue whale is not just the largest animal alive today, it's the largest animal that has ever existed on Earth. Longer than a Boeing 737, weighing up to 200 tons, a heart the size of a small car, and yes, they're blue, a mottled blue-gray that camouflages them in the deep ocean. Blue whales feed on some of the tiniest creatures in the sea, krill, small shrimp-like animals. A blue whale can eat up to 4 tons of krill in a single day. The largest creature eats the smallest, filtering vast quantities of water through baleen plates. Their calls are among the loudest sounds made by any animal, traveling hundreds of miles through the ocean. Other blue whales hear these songs across vast distances, communicating in ways we're only beginning to understand. There's something profound about blue containing such extremes. The blue whale as the ultimate expression of scale, of life pushing the boundaries of how large a living thing can be. Blue as vastness itself. Bioluminescent blue, light from life. In the depths of the ocean where sunlight never reaches, many creatures create their own light, and often that light is blue. Glowing jellyfish, luminescent squid, lanternfish, and countless other deep-sea animals emit blue light through chemical reactions in their bodies. Why blue? Because blue light travels farthest in water. While red light is absorbed quickly, blue penetrates deeper and farther. For creatures communicating in the darkness of the deep sea, blue is the most efficient color to use. These animals use their blue light to attract prey, to find mates, to confuse predators, to communicate. Some fish have light organs that they can control like flashlights.
Some squid create blue clouds of bioluminescent chemicals to escape while predators are dazzled. The deepest parts of our blue planet glow with blue light created by life itself. Blue as signal, as language, as survival strategy. Life making light in the darkness and choosing blue. Blue flowers, the botanical challenge. Blue flowers are rare. Only about 10% of flowering plants produce blue blooms, and even many of those are more purple than true blue. True blue flowers, the pure, clear blue of a blue jay or the sky, are extraordinarily uncommon. This is because plants struggle to create blue pigments called anthocyanins in the right way. Blue anthocyanins require specific pH levels in the plant cells. Too acidic and the flower turns red or pink. Too alkaline and it might be purple. Getting pure blue requires precise chemical conditions that many plants simply cannot maintain. Delphiniums, morning glories, forget-me-nots, some hydrangeas, these achieve blue, but it's a botanical accomplishment. Garden enthusiasts know that blue flowers are special, that growing a true blue bloom is something to celebrate. Interestingly, there are no true blue roses in nature. Despite centuries of breeding efforts, roses lack the genes to produce blue pigments. The blue roses you might see in shops are white roses dyed blue. Nature refuses to make blue roses. Some blues remain impossible.
We've discovered that blue in nature is a magician's trick. Structural color in butterflies and birds, light scattering in eyes and sky, bioluminescence in the deep ocean, and the rare achievement of blue flowers. Nature creates blue through cleverness, through engineering, through making the best of chemistry's limitations. In our next segment, we'll explore blue in human psychology and culture, why blue became the world's favorite color, what blue does to our minds and moods, and how this once unnamed color came to dominate modern life. We've seen how nature creates blue through structure and light. Now, let's turn inward to what blue does to us. How does this color affect your mind, your mood, your body? Why did blue become the world's most beloved color? Let's explore the psychology of blue, the invisible ways this color shapes human experience. Settle in, breathe deeply, and discover what blue does to you. Blue, the world's favorite color. Surveys conducted across dozens of countries spanning different cultures and continents consistently reveal the same surprising fact: blue is the world's favorite color. Roughly 40% of people, when asked to name their favorite color, choose blue. No other color comes close. This preference crosses age groups, gender, and cultural boundaries. Whether you're in Japan or Brazil, Sweden or South Africa, blue is statistically likely to be the most popular color. It's a rare point of agreement in our diverse world. Why? Perhaps because blue is associated with things we universally appreciate: clear skies, clean water, openness, peace. Blue carries fewer negative associations than other colors. Red can mean danger, green can mean sickness, yellow can mean warning. But blue? Blue is the sky on a perfect day. Blue is trust, calm, reliability. In a world of differences, blue unites us, a shared aesthetic preference that transcends borders. Blue calms the mind. Exposure to the color blue has measurable effects on your physiology and psychology. Studies show that being in blue environments or looking at blue colors can lower heart rate, reduce blood pressure, and decrease feelings of anxiety. Blue triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode of your body. Unlike red, which activates and alerts, blue soothes and settles. This is why many bedrooms are painted blue, why hospitals often use blue in their decor, why meditation apps frequently use blue in their interfaces. The calming effect is real, not just cultural. Even people who don't consciously prefer blue still show these physiological responses. Your body relaxes when surrounded by blue, whether you're aware of it or not. This may be evolutionary. Blue skies meant good weather, safety from storms. Blue water meant finding the resource essential to life. Our ancestors who felt calm and positive around blue were perhaps more likely to seek out these beneficial environments. You're experiencing this right now, perhaps. As you listen to words about blue, your mind may be conjuring blue images, and those images may be gently calming you, preparing you for rest. Blue and creativity. While red impairs analytical thinking, blue enhances it. People in blue environments perform better on creative tasks, solve puzzles more effectively, and generate more innovative ideas than those in red or neutral spaces. Blue seems to activate what psychologists call an approach motivation. It makes you feel safe enough to explore, to try new things, to think expansively. Blue opens the mind rather than narrowing it. This is why many tech companies, design studios, and creative agencies use blue in their workspaces. Google, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn all use blue as their primary brand color, perhaps unconsciously aligning themselves with the psychological effects of innovation and trust. When you need to think creatively, to solve a difficult problem, to see new possibilities, blue can help. Not dramatically, not magically, but measurably. The color around you shapes the thoughts within you. Blue light and sleep. But blue has a dark side, literally. Blue light, particularly the blue wavelengths emitted by phones, tablets, and computers, can disrupt your sleep patterns. Your eyes contain special cells that are particularly sensitive to blue light, and these cells tell your brain whether it's day or night. When you look at blue light screens before bed, you're essentially telling your brain it's still daytime. This suppresses melatonin production, the hormone that makes you sleepy. Your body gets confused, your circadian rhythm shifts, and falling asleep becomes harder. This is why many devices now offer night mode or blue light filters that shift the screen toward warmer amber tones in the evening. It's also why sleep experts recommend avoiding screens for an hour or two before bed. Blue light keeps you alert and awake, which is wonderful during the day, but problematic at night. The same blue that calms your mind can, in certain contexts, prevent your body from resting. Blue, like all colors, is context-dependent. Blue in branding, the color of trust. Look at the logos of major corporations and institutions. Banks, tech companies, healthcare organizations, airlines, they overwhelmingly use blue. PayPal, IBM, HP, Ford, Boeing, Samsung, Intel, Dell, American Express, blue, blue, blue. Why?
because blue communicates trustworthiness, reliability, and competence. When you need someone to trust you with their money, their data, or their health, blue helps convey that you're dependable. Studies show that people are more likely to trust someone wearing blue, more likely to feel confident in a company with a blue logo. Blue feels safe, established, professional. It doesn't demand attention like red or yellow. It quietly assures you that everything will be fine. This makes blue paradoxically both the most popular and the most predictable color in corporate branding. Everyone wants to be trusted, so everyone uses blue, which means blue can also feel generic, corporate, cold. The color of trust can become the color of conformity. But it works. Blue makes you trust, even when you know it's being used strategically.
Feeling blue, the language of sadness. Interestingly, despite blue's generally positive associations, many languages connect blue with sadness. In English, we say we're feeling blue when we're sad. We have the blues as a genre of music born from hardship and sorrow. We can be blue on a gloomy day. This association might come from blue's connection to coldness, to winter, to overcast skies, or perhaps from the pale blue tint that lips and skin take on when someone is cold or oxygen deprived, a blue that signals distress. The blues music tradition transformed this sadness into art. Blues musicians took the feeling of being blue and made it into something beautiful, something shared, something that could be expressed and therefore eased. Blue sadness became blue soul. So blue contains multitudes. It's the color of calm and sadness both, of trust and melancholy, of corporate reliability and deep personal sorrow. Blue is big enough to hold contradictions, to mean different things in different moments. When you feel blue, you're experiencing one of the many blues that exist, not the blue of the sky or the sea, but the blue of the inner weather, the emotional landscape that only you can see. We've explored how blue affects your mind and body, calming you, inspiring you, potentially disrupting your sleep, making you trust. We've seen how blue became a tool for branding and a language for sadness. Blue works on you in ways both obvious and subtle, shaping moods and perceptions. In our next segment, we'll look at blue in art and culture, how painters have used blue to create masterpieces, what blue means in different traditions, and how this color has inspired human creativity across centuries.
If you're still with us, and if you want us to cover a topic you like, leave a comment below. If you enjoy this video, consider giving it a like. And also subscribe to our channel so that you always know when the next video is released. By doing this, you help us not only grow, but continue to make content just like this. Thank you.
From psychology, we now turn to expression, to the realm where blue becomes art. How have painters obsessed over blue? What masterpieces have been created with this color? How has blue shaped visual culture and inspired human creativity? Let's explore blue through the eyes of artists. Relax, close your eyes if you wish, and discover blue as art.
Vermeer's Blue Turbans. Dutch painter Johannes Vermeer
working in the 1600s, created some of art history's most luminous blues. His painting, Girl with a Pearl Earring, features a young woman in a blue and gold turban. The blue so rich and dimensional, it seems to glow from within. Vermeer used ultramarine, that precious lapis lazuli pigment worth more than gold. He was not a wealthy man, yet he spent extravagantly on this blue, layering it in glazes to achieve unprecedented depth and luminosity. Some art historians believe he went into debt to afford the ultramarine he used. His blues are contemplative, quiet, intimate. They don't shout, they whisper. When you stand before a Vermeer painting, the blue draws you in, makes you lean closer, invites you into the peaceful domestic scenes he captured. His blue is the blue of everyday moments made sacred through attention and craft. Vermeer's financial struggles for the sake of blue remind us that artists have always understood some colors are worth sacrificing for. Some blues matter enough to risk everything. Picasso's Blue Period. Between 1901 and 1904, Picasso painted almost exclusively in shades of blue and blue-green. These paintings, created when Picasso was in his early 20s and struggling with poverty and depression following a friend's suicide, are haunting and melancholy. Gaunt figures, beggars, lonely people in empty rooms, all rendered in deep, cold blues. The paintings feel like sadness made visible, like depression given form. But they're also beautiful, proof that sorrow can be transformed into art, that blue can carry the weight of human suffering and somehow make it bearable. Picasso emerged from his blue period into brighter colors and eventually into cubism and fame, but those blue paintings remain among his most emotionally powerful works. The blue wasn't just an aesthetic choice, it was the only color that could contain what he was feeling. Sometimes blue is the only language adequate for certain human experiences. Sometimes only blue can tell the truth.
Hokusai's Great Wave. The Great Wave off Kanagawa, created by Japanese artist Katsushika Hokusai around 1830, is one of the most recognizable images in art history. A massive wave, rendered in Prussian blue and white, threatens boats beneath it, while Mount Fuji appears small in the distance. Hokusai was able to create this masterpiece partly because Prussian blue had recently been imported to Japan. Before this affordable synthetic blue became available, Japanese artists had limited access to good blue pigments. Prussian blue allowed Hokusai to capture the sea in a new way, to make water dynamic, powerful, almost alive. That wave has been reproduced millions of times on posters, t-shirts, phone cases, tattoos. Its blue has entered global visual culture so thoroughly that you probably pictured it just now when I mentioned it. Hokusai's blue wave has become humanity's image of the ocean's power, one artist's blue vision becoming everyone's shared reference. The blue of swimming pools. Artist David Hockney became famous for his paintings of swimming pools, particularly his California Pool series from the 1960s and 70s.
He captured the particular blue of pool water, artificial, bright, the blue of leisure and sunshine. Hockney was fascinated by how water moves, how light plays on its surface, how the blue of a pool is both inviting and unnatural. His pool paintings aren't realistic, they're stylized, geometric, almost abstract in their treatment of water. Yet they capture something essential about pools. They're blue as a symbol of modern life, of recreation, of human attempts to bring water into domestic spaces. That swimming pool blue is now instantly recognizable. It's a specific blue, chlorinated, tiled, suburban. When you see that shade, you can almost feel the warmth of sun on your skin, smell the chlorine, hear the splash of water. Hockney made swimming pool blue into art, elevated it from backyard mundane to gallery worthy. Blue can be high art in Renaissance paintings or pop art in California pools. Blue adapts, carries different meanings, serves different purposes.
Blue in film, The Matrix. Modern filmmakers use color grading to give films distinctive visual identities. The Matrix trilogy, beginning in 1999, famously used a blue-green tint for scenes in the simulated reality and a warmer amber tone for scenes in the real world. That blue-green became synonymous with digital environments, with artificial reality, with the cold precision of computer code. Filmmakers chose blue because it feels technological, distant, slightly unreal. The blue tint made viewers subtly uncomfortable, creating a sense that something was off about this world without them consciously knowing why. Since The Matrix, blue has become shorthand in film and TV for digital spaces, for coldness, for technological futures. Blue is the color we imagine when we think of virtual reality, of artificial intelligence, of futures dominated by machines rather than nature. Cinema taught us a new blue language, blue as the unreal, the simulated, the digital world we increasingly inhabit. Blue Man Group, performance as blue. In 1987, 3 performers painted themselves completely blue and created a theatrical experience that combined music, comedy, and visual art. The Blue Man Group became an international phenomenon, performing for millions of people worldwide. Why blue? The creators wanted their performers to be alien, otherworldly, freed from human racial and cultural identifiers. Blue skin made them universal, not any specific ethnicity or identity, but simply human beings exploring what it means to be human. The blue paint transformed ordinary people into archetypal figures, into representatives of curiosity and wonder. Painted blue, they could do things that would seem strange coming from normally colored humans. Play bizarre instruments, interact with technology in childlike ways, communicate without words. Blue became a mask, a liberation, a way to become something other than yourself while somehow becoming more essentially human. Blue as transformation, as permission to be strange and wonderful. We've journeyed through blue in art and expression, from Vermeer's precious ultramarine to Picasso's depression, from Hokusai's waves to Hockney's pools, from cinematic blue futures to blue-painted performers. Blue in human hands becomes
infinite, becomes whatever the artist needs it to be. From art galleries, we now expand our view to the cosmos, to science, to blue at scales both vast and microscopic. Blue in space, blue in medicine, blue in the cutting edge of human discovery. Let's explore blue where science and wonder meet. Take a deep breath, let your mind expand, and discover blue in the realm of science. The blue marble, Earth from space. In 1972, the crew of Apollo 17 took a photograph of Earth from 28,000 miles away. The image, called the blue marble, showed our planet as a perfect sphere floating in the darkness of space, and it was blue, brilliantly, unmistakably blue. That photograph changed human consciousness. For the first time, we could see our home from the outside, a blue jewel in the black void. The blue came from our oceans, covering 71% of Earth's surface, and from our atmosphere, scattering light across the globe. That image sparked environmental movements, inspired the first Earth Day, changed how we think about our planet. Seeing Earth as blue, as finite, as precious, as our only home suspended in vast darkness, made borders seem arbitrary and conflicts seem small. We are citizens of a blue planet. That blue seen from space is us, our water, our air, our shared home. The blue marble reminded us that we're all together on this blue sphere traveling through space.
Blue stars, the hottest in the universe. When you look at stars, the blue ones are actually the hottest. This seems counterintuitive. We think of blue as cold and red as hot, but in stellar physics, the opposite is true. Blue stars burn at temperatures exceeding 30,000 degrees Fahrenheit, while red stars are the coolest at only a few thousand degrees. This is called black body radiation. As objects heat up, they emit light at different wavelengths. Cooler objects glow red, moderate objects like our sun glow yellow-white, and the hottest objects glow blue or blue-white. The brightest stars in the night sky, Rigel, Spica, Bellatrix, are massive blue giants, burning their fuel at prodigious rates. They're young, energetic, and won't last as long as smaller, cooler stars. Blue stars live fast and die young, ending in spectacular supernova explosions. Blue in the cosmos means intensity, power, youth. The bluest stars are the most dramatic, the most powerful, the most short-lived. Blue as cosmic drama. Blue LEDs, a Nobel Prize achievement. For decades, scientists could create red and green LEDs, light-emitting diodes, but not blue ones. This was frustrating because combining red, green, and blue light creates white light, which would allow LED lights to replace inefficient incandescent bulbs. The problem was finding the right semiconductor materials and processes to produce blue light efficiently. Many researchers tried and failed. Then, in the 1990s, 3 Japanese scientists, Isamu Akasaki, Hiroshi Amano, and Shuji Nakamura, finally succeeded in creating bright blue LEDs. This breakthrough earned them the 2014 Nobel Prize in Physics. Their blue LEDs made possible the white LED lights, now replacing old bulbs worldwide, saving enormous amounts of energy. They also enabled LED screens in phones, tablets, and TVs. Blue was the missing piece. Once blue was solved, lighting technology leaped forward. Sometimes one color, one breakthrough changes everything. Blue completed the light spectrum, made modern lighting possible.
Blue in medical imaging. Modern medicine uses blue in remarkable ways. Blue light therapy treats newborn jaundice, breaking down excess bilirubin in baby's blood. The blue light is specific, carefully calibrated, life-saving for infants whose livers aren't yet mature enough to process waste products. Doctors also use blue dyes in surgery. Special blue dyes injected near tumors or lymph nodes make them visible, helping surgeons identify exactly what to remove. The blue guides their hands, marks what must be taken and what should remain. And then there's blue light in dentistry. UV blue light hardens dental fillings, bonds them to teeth. That brief blue flash you see when getting a filling, that's photopolymerization, chemistry triggered by blue light, creating strong bonds in seconds. Blue light as healer, blue light as guide, blue light as catalyst. Medicine has discovered that this particular wavelength can trigger biological processes, can reveal hidden structures, can save lives. Blueshift, the opposite of redshift. We mentioned redshift earlier, how light from distant galaxies is stretched toward red as they move away. But objects moving toward us show blueshift. Their light is compressed to shorter wavelengths, shifted toward blue. The Andromeda Galaxy, our nearest large galactic neighbor, shows blueshift. It's moving toward us at about 68 miles per second. In about 4.5 billion years, Andromeda and the Milky Way will collide, or rather merge, in a slow-motion galactic dance. When astronomers see blue-shifted light, they know something is approaching. Police radar detectors use this principle, the Doppler effect. The same physics that shifts starlight shifts radio waves, allowing measurement of speed. Blue in astronomy means approach, convergence, coming together. While most of the universe races away in redshift, a few objects come closer in blueshift, bringing a different future, a collision that will reshape galaxies. Blue zones, where people live longest. Researchers studying human longevity identified 5 regions where people live significantly longer than average, places where reaching 100 years old is common. These became known as blue zones, named for the blue circles drawn on maps to mark them. The blue zones are Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Ikaria, Greece, and Loma Linda, California. Despite being scattered across the globe, they share common features: plant-based diets, strong social connections, regular moderate exercise, purpose in life. The name Blue Zone was almost accidental, just blue marker on a map. But it's fitting. These are places where life is blue, peaceful, connected, sustained. Where people age slowly under blue skies, near blue seas, living in ways that honor the body's natural rhythms. Blue as longevity,
blue as the color of life well lived, blue as the marker of places where humans thrive. The blue circles on that map became blue as aspiration, as model, as hope. We've explored blue in science, from our blue planet seen from space to blue stars burning brightest, from the blue LED breakthrough to blue light healing, from Blueshift to blue zones. Science reveals that blue operates at every scale, serves countless purposes, appears in contexts we're still discovering.
If you're still with us, and if you want us to cover a topic you like, leave a comment below. If you enjoy this video, consider giving it a like. And also subscribe to our channel so that you always know when the next video is released. By doing this, you help us not only grow, but continue to make content just like this. Thank you.
In our next segment, we'll look at blue in everyday modern life, in technology, in design, in the digital world you navigate daily. How blue shapes the interface between humans and machines. From the cosmos, we return to Earth, to the blue of modern life, the blue of technology, the blue of everyday digital experiences. Blue dominates the interfaces you touch, the screens you look at, the connections you make. Let's explore blue in the contemporary world. Settle in, breathe slowly, and discover blue in modern life.
Blue hyperlinks, the color of the internet. In the early days of the World Wide Web, browsers needed a way to show which text was clickable. The default choice? Blue. Specifically, a bright blue that stood out against black text on white backgrounds. Clicked links turned purple, unclicked ones remained blue. This convention became so universal that blue underlined text became synonymous with clickable link. Even today, decades later, websites still default to blue links because users instinctively understand what blue text means. Blue became the color of connection, of pathways through information, of doors you can open. When you see blue text online, something in your brain registers, this leads somewhere. This is a portal. This can take you to another place. The internet is blue, not in its infrastructure, not in its data, but in how we navigate it. Blue as the thread through the web, the color of digital exploration. Blue screen of death. Windows users know this blue well, though they hope never to see it. The blue screen of death appears when Windows encounters a critical error it cannot recover from. The screen turns completely blue, displays cryptic error messages, and forces a restart. Why blue? Microsoft chose blue for error screens because it was different from the normal interface, immediately signaling something wrong. That particular shade of blue became infamous, the blue of frustration, of lost work, of system failure. Interestingly, newer versions of Windows changed to a friendlier, lighter blue with a sad face emoticon, trying to make system crashes less alarming. But the phrase "blue screen of death" persists, a reminder that even blue, calm, trustworthy blue, can mean disaster in the right context. Blue as warning, Blue as the color your screen turns when the machine gives up. Even blue has its dark moments. Bluetooth, wireless. The wireless technology that connects your phone to headphones, speakers, and other devices is called Bluetooth. The name comes from Harald Bluetooth Gormson, a Viking king who united Denmark and Norway in the 10th century. The technology's creators chose this name because Bluetooth would unite devices the way the king united kingdoms. The Bluetooth logo is actually a combination of the runic initials for Harald Bluetooth. But many people assume it's called Bluetooth simply because, well, it should be blue, right? The technology has nothing to do with the color blue, yet the name makes us think of blue connections, blue signals, blue technology linking devices invisibly. Blue has become so associated with technology and connectivity that even when there's no intentional color reference, we assume blue is involved. Blue as the default color of the digital age. Blue checkmarks, verified identity. On social media platforms, a blue checkmark next to a name indicates a verified account, confirmation that this person is who they claim to be. That small blue symbol carries enormous significance in the digital world. The blue checkmark means authenticity, trustworthiness, importance. It distinguishes real public figures from impersonators, legitimate organizations from fraudulent ones. People aspire to blue checkmarks. Some platforms sell them. Controversies erupt over who deserves them. It's remarkable that a tiny blue icon holds such cultural weight. Blue as certification, blue as legitimacy, blue as the mark that says, "This is real." In a world of anonymity and deception, blue promises truth. Of course, this trust can be manipulated, but the fact that platforms chose blue for verification shows how deeply blue is associated with reliability and authenticity in human psychology. Blue light filters and night mode. As we've become aware of blue light's effects on sleep, technology has adapted. Smartphones, tablets, and computers now offer night mode or blue light filter settings that shift screens towards warmer amber tones in the evening. These features reduce the blue wavelengths that suppress melatonin, helping your brain recognize it's nighttime. Some people wear blue light blocking glasses. Apps like Flux automatically adjust screen color based on time of day. We've created a problem, blue-rich screens everywhere, disrupting natural sleep rhythms. Then we've created solutions, filters, modes, glasses, to block the very blue we added to our screens. It's a strange cycle of technology creating and solving its own problems. Blue light management has become part of modern sleep hygiene, part of how we navigate life in a screen-saturated world. We need blue during the day for alertness, but must actively remove it at night to rest. Blue in user interfaces. Software designers carefully choose when to use blue. Blue buttons typically mean proceed or confirm, the positive action in a choice. Blue is the color of primary actions, of moving forward, of agreeing. Facebook is blue, Twitter is blue, LinkedIn is blue.
These platforms chose blue because it's friendly, non-threatening, trustworthy. Blue invites you in, keeps you scrolling, feels safe and familiar. But designers also know blue can become sterile, corporate, boring. Too much blue in an interface feels cold and institutional. The challenge is balancing blue's trustworthiness with warmth and personality. Every blue you see in apps and websites is a deliberate choice, carefully tested. Does this blue feel friendly or distant, trustworthy or generic, calming or boring? The blue of buttons, backgrounds, and links shapes your digital experience in ways you never consciously notice. Blue is the infrastructure of the digital world, the color that makes interfaces work, that guides your actions, that shapes your online life. Once in a blue moon. When something happens once in a blue moon, it means it's extremely rare. But what is a blue moon? Traditionally, it refers to the second full moon in a single calendar month, an event that occurs roughly every 2.7 years. The moon doesn't actually turn blue during a blue moon. The name might come from an Old English phrase, belewe moon, meaning betrayer moon, or it might simply refer to the rarity of the event. Very occasionally, the moon can appear blue in the sky when volcanic ash or specific atmospheric particles scatter red light, leaving blue. This expression captures something poetic, blue as the marker of rare events, of special moments, of things you cannot count on. Blue as the color of the unexpected, the unusual, the precious precisely because it's uncommon. When you do something once in a blue moon, you're marking it as exceptional, as blue exceptional. Out of the blue. When something happens out of the blue, it arrives unexpectedly, without warning. This phrase likely comes from a bolt from the blue, a lightning strike from a clear blue sky where no storm clouds gave warning. Blue sky means safety, normalcy, peace. So when something dramatic happens out of the blue, it's all the more shocking because it came from apparent calm. The blue sky promised nothing unusual, then delivered surprise. We use this expression constantly. Messages out of the blue, visitors arriving out of the blue, news coming out of the blue. Blue has become our linguistic shorthand for the unexpected background of normal life, the calm from which surprises emerge. Blue as the ordinary canvas on which the extraordinary suddenly appears.
Blue ribbons, marking excellence. In competitions and awards, blue ribbons traditionally signify first place, the highest achievement. This tradition goes back to medieval times when the Order of the Garter, England's highest order of chivalry, used a blue ribbon as its symbol. Blue ribbons came to mean excellence, the best, the winner. County fairs, dog shows, school competitions all adopted blue for first place, red for second, white for third. When something is blue ribboned, it's top quality, carefully selected, the finest example. That blue ribbon is more than decoration. It's validation, recognition, proof that you achieved something special. Blue as the color of accomplishment, of being measured against others and coming out on top. Interesting how blue, which we associate with calm and peace, also marks victory and competition. Blue contains multitudes.
Blue blood, the aristocratic blue. The phrase blue blood refers to aristocracy, to people of noble birth. This expression has a curious origin. Spanish nobles, who spent their time indoors rather than laboring in the sun, had pale skin through which their veins appeared blue. They called themselves sangre azul, blue blood. The phrase spread across Europe, becoming shorthand for inherited privilege and social status. To have blue blood meant you belonged to the upper classes, that your lineage was pure and noble. Of course, everyone's blood is red. The blue appearance of veins under pale skin is simply an optical effect, light penetrating skin and reflecting back. But the phrase persists, encoding class distinctions in color language. Blue as marker of status, of inherited position, of hierarchies made visible through language, even when the blue is purely metaphorical.
Blue collar and white collar. We divide workers into blue collar, manual laborers, and white collar, office workers. These terms emerged in the early 20th century, referring to the actual colors workers wore. Manual laborers, factory workers, mechanics, and construction workers wore durable blue shirts that wouldn't show grease and dirt. Office workers wore white shirts with their suits, keeping them clean in their indoor environments. The color of your collar announced your social class and type of work. These terms have become less literally accurate. Not all manual workers wear blue, and not all office workers wear white. But the language persists. Blue collar and white collar are now concepts more than descriptions, ways of categorizing work and workers. Blue as the color of labor, of hands-on work, of building and making and doing. Blue as the working person's color, practical and durable. Blue in Japanese culture. Ao. In Japanese, the word ao traditionally referred to both blue and green. Traffic lights that we'd call green are called ao in Japanese. Green apples are ao ringo. The distinction between blue and green that seems obvious to English speakers is less clear in Japanese language and culture. This isn't unique to Japanese. Many languages don't strongly distinguish blue and green, treating them as variations of the same color family. Vietnamese, Korean, and many other languages historically grouped these colors together. What we think of as basic, natural color categories are actually cultural and linguistic constructs. Blue and green might seem obviously different to you, but to speakers of other languages, they're closely related shades of the same idea. Language shapes perception. The words you have for colors influence how you see and categorize the world. Blue is not the same blue everywhere. We've explored blue in language, in idioms about rarity and surprise, in ribbons marking excellence, in blood and collars encoding class, in words that blur the boundaries we think are natural. Blue appears throughout how we speak, carrying meanings that go far beyond the color itself. In our next segment, we'll look at blue in nature once more, but this time focusing on blue phenomena, blue mysteries, blue wonders that science is still working to fully understand. But for now, simply rest and notice how often you use blue in speech. blue expressions, blue metaphors, blue language woven through your daily conversation. Blue isn't just what you see, it's how you think and speak about the world. If you're still with us, and if you want us to cover a topic you like, leave a comment below. If you enjoy this video, consider giving it a like. And also subscribe to our channel so that you always know when the next video is released. By doing this, you help us not only grow, but continue to make content just like this. Thank you. We return now to nature's blue mysteries, to phenomena that still puzzle scientists, to blue wonders that defy easy explanation, to the edges of what we understand about this color. Let's explore the strange and beautiful blues of our world. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and discover blue at its most mysterious. Blue flames, the hottest fire. When you look at a candle flame, the yellow and orange parts are what you notice. But look closely at the base. There's a thin blue ring where the flame burns hottest. Blue flames indicate complete combustion, where fuel is burning efficiently at very high temperatures. Natural gas stoves produce blue flames. Welding torches burn blue. When firefighters see blue flames in a burning building, they know those areas are extremely hot. Blue fire means temperatures exceeding 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. It's counterintuitive. Our cultural associations make us think blue is cold. Yet in actual thermodynamics, blue is the hottest visible color of flame. The bluest fire is the most intense, the most complete, the most powerful. Nature once again reverses our expectations. Blue isn't always calm and cool. Sometimes blue burns hotter than anything else. The Blue Hole, Underwater Mystery. In the ocean near Belize lies the Great Blue Hole, a massive underwater sinkhole that appears as a dark blue circle from above, surrounded by lighter turquoise water. It's nearly 1,000 feet across and over 400 feet deep. This blue hole formed during ice ages when the area was above sea level. Water eroded the limestone, creating a cave system. When ice melted and sea levels rose, the caves flooded, leaving this cylindrical blue void. Divers who descend into the blue hole describe an eerie experience. The walls are lined with ancient stalactites, proof of when this was dry land. The water is extraordinarily clear. At certain depths, the blue becomes darkness, a blue so deep it's almost black. The blue hole is blue mystery made physical, a geological feature that looks like someone took a hole punch to the ocean floor. Blue as portal, blue as depth, blue as the unknown beneath. Blue lava, the volcanic phenomenon. In Indonesia, at the Kawah Ijen volcano, something extraordinary happens at night. The lava appears to glow electric blue, flowing down the mountainside like rivers of blue fire. But it's not actually blue lava. Sulfuric gases emerging from cracks in the volcano ignite when they contact air, burning at temperatures hot enough to create blue flames. These blue flames then ignite liquid sulfur which flows down the slope, glowing blue.
The effect is otherworldly. Photographers travel from around the world to capture these blue rivers of fire. It looks like something from another planet, like blue from a fantasy rather than reality. Yet it's real, a natural phenomenon where chemistry and geology combine to create blue fire in the darkness. Nature proving once again that its blues exceed human imagination.
Blue glacial ice. Ancient frozen blue. When you look at glaciers, the oldest ice glows with an intense, pure blue. This blue is different from sky blue or ocean blue. It's the blue of time frozen, of snow compressed over centuries. Here's how it forms. Fresh snow is white because it contains air bubbles that scatter all wavelengths of light. As snow accumulates and compresses into glacial ice, the air is squeezed out. Dense ice absorbs red wavelengths but allows blue to penetrate and scatter, creating that distinctive glacial blue. The bluer the ice, the older and denser it is. Some glacial ice is hundreds of thousands of years old, ice that fell as snow before human civilization existed. That blue is ancient, holding within it atmospheric bubbles from ages past, preserving history in frozen form. When you see that intense blue in glacial caves or icebergs, you're seeing time made visible. Blue as the color of preserved millennia. Blue auroras. The dancing northern lights. The aurora borealis, or northern lights, most commonly appears green, but under certain conditions, auroras can be blue or violet, and these blue auroras are special. Blue auroras occur when solar particles interact with nitrogen molecules high in the atmosphere, above 150 miles up. They're less common than green auroras and often appear as the bottom edge of aurora displays. People who witness blue auroras describe them as ethereal, ghostly, more mysterious than the green varieties. The blue seems to shimmer and pulse, dancing across the sky like something alive. These lights are literally space weather made visible, particles from the sun colliding with our atmosphere, exciting molecules, causing them to emit light. Blue auroras are the sky itself glowing, the atmosphere lighting up like a neon sign. Blue as the color of Earth meeting space, of solar wind made visible, of physics transformed into beauty. Blue honey, the rare, sweet mystery. In certain regions, particularly in North Carolina, near the sourwood trees, beekeepers occasionally discover their bees have produced blue honey. Not metaphorically blue, but actually blue. Honey that looks like blue syrup. This happens when bees collect nectar from flowers containing specific compounds, or when they gather from unusual sources like elderberries or indigo plants. Sometimes the blue comes from industrial sources. Bees collecting sugary waste from M&M candy factories have produced bright blue honey. Blue honey is edible, but rare, often considered a curiosity more than a culinary delight. It demonstrates that bees, those tireless makers of golden honey, can occasionally create something entirely different. Blue sweetness, blue food made by insects, blue where you expect only gold. Nature's blue surprises never cease. We've explored blue mysteries, from the hottest flames to the deepest sinkholes, from volcanic blue fire to ancient glacial blue, from auroras dancing
to honey that shouldn't be blue but is. Nature's blues are endless, strange, more varied than we can catalog. In our final segment, we'll bring everything together, reflecting on what blue means in your life, in our shared world, and in the future. We'll complete our journey through 100 facts about this remarkable color. We've traveled so far together, from blue's late arrival in human language to the blue mysteries of nature, from ancient Lapis Lazuli to modern LED screens, from the depths of the ocean to the edges of space. Now, let's complete our journey with reflections on blue in your life, blue in our shared future, and what this color means as we move forward. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let's finish this story of blue.
Blue sapphires, precious blue stones. Sapphires, those precious gemstones treasured for millennia, are most famous in their blue form. The blue comes from traces of titanium and iron within the crystalline structure of corundum. The finest blue sapphires from Kashmir and Burma display a velvety cornflower blue that gem collectors consider perfection. Blue sapphires have adorned crowns, engagement rings, and religious artifacts throughout history. They symbolize wisdom, loyalty, and nobility. The British crown jewels include several magnificent blue sapphires. Princess Diana's engagement ring, now worn by Catherine, Princess of Wales, features a stunning blue sapphire. These stones take millions of years to form deep within the earth, created under intense heat and pressure. When you hold a blue sapphire, you're holding geological time. Blue crystallized from the planet's depths. Blue that took longer to create than human civilization has existed. Blue as treasure. Blue as patience. Blue as the Earth's slow gift to those who seek beauty. Blue in music, jazz, and blues. We've mentioned blues music before, but let's appreciate how deeply blue has influenced musical culture. The blues genre, born from African American experiences in the Deep South, transformed American music and eventually world music. Blues gave birth to jazz, rock and roll, rhythm and blues, soul music. The blue notes, those slightly flattened notes that give blues its characteristic sound, create a feeling of melancholy, of longing, of emotional complexity that can't be captured in standard scales. When B.B. King played his guitar Lucille, when Muddy Waters sang, when John Coltrane explored modal jazz, they were all working in traditions that flow from the blues. Blue became more than sadness. It became a musical language for the full range of human emotion. Blue music is soul made audible. Blue as the sound of being human. Blue Monday, the saddest day. The third Monday in January has been called Blue Monday, supposedly the most depressing day of the year. This concept was created by a travel company in 2005 as a marketing campaign using a pseudo-scientific formula involving weather, debt, time since Christmas, and failed New Year's resolutions. While the calculation is nonsense, the idea caught on. People talk about Blue Monday, media reports on it, and the day has entered popular consciousness. It demonstrates how blue has become our go-to color for sadness, for difficulty, for emotional low points.
But here's what's interesting. Awareness of Blue Monday has also sparked conversations about mental health, seasonal affective disorder, and how we support each other through difficult times. A marketing gimmick became a genuine opportunity for compassion and understanding. Even invented blues can serve a purpose, reminding us to check on each other, to acknowledge that sometimes life feels blue, and that's okay. Blueberries, blue nutrition. Blueberries are one of the few naturally blue foods. That blue skin contains anthocyanins, the same compounds that create blue in flowers. These antioxidants are linked to health benefits, improved memory, heart health, reduced inflammation. Wild blueberries have even more of these blue compounds than cultivated ones. That deep blue-purple color indicates high antioxidant content. When nutritionists talk about eating the rainbow, blue is the rarest color to include, and one of the most beneficial. Indigenous peoples of North America have harvested and eaten blueberries for thousands of years, recognizing their value long before science could explain why. That blue is nutrition, medicine, sustenance. Blue you can eat, blue that nourishes, blue as life-giving rather than just life-reflecting.
Blue whale's heartbeat, the slowest pulse. We mentioned blue whales earlier as the largest animals ever, but here's another remarkable fact. A blue whale's heart beats only 2 times per minute when diving deep, and 25 to 37 times per minute at the surface. That heart itself weighs about 400 pounds, the size of a small car. Each beat pumps 220 liters of blood. The arteries are so large that a small child could crawl through them. When researchers first measured a blue whale's heartbeat using tags attached to the animal, they were stunned by how slow it could go while still sustaining life in such an enormous body. The blue whale exists at the edge of biological possibility, the largest heart beating the slowest rhythm, sustaining the largest life. Blue as vastness, yes, but also blue as the slow, deep pulse of life at its most extreme. The future of blue, new blues to come. Scientists continue to develop new blue pigments. In 2009, chemists accidentally discovered YIMN blue, a brilliant, durable blue that's the first new blue pigment in 200 years. It's so stable, it doesn't fade in sunlight or extreme conditions. Researchers are also exploring how to genetically engineer blue roses, blue strawberries, blue foods that nature never created. They're studying blue structural color to create more sustainable, non-toxic blue dyes and paints inspired by butterfly wings. The future will bring blues we haven't seen yet. New shades, new applications, new understandings of how blue works and what it can do. Blue is still being invented, still being discovered, still revealing itself. Blue isn't finished. Blue has more stories to tell, more appearances to make, more ways to surprise us. Blue in your life right now. Think about the blue things that matter to you. Perhaps you have a favorite blue shirt you wear when you want to feel confident. Perhaps there's a blue sky you saw once that took your breath away. Perhaps you remember blue eyes, a blue car, a blue room from childhood. Blue surrounds you even now.
Maybe blue walls in your room, the blue glow of a screen somewhere nearby, blue fabric on your clothes or furniture, the blue beyond your window, whether sky or night. You are immersed in blue, breathing under a blue atmosphere, living on a blue planet, navigating a world where blue has become ubiquitous after being so rare for so long. Blue has woven itself into your life in countless small ways. The blues of our world. We've explored 61 facts about blue in depth, but there are so many more blues. The blue of your favorite jeans, worn soft and comfortable. Blue ink in pens writing your thoughts. Blue post-it notes on your desk. Blue towels hanging in bathrooms. Blue dishes on kitchen shelves. Blue books on shelves. Blue toys from childhood. Blue birthday candles. Blue wrapping paper. Blue ribbons in hair. Blue backpacks going to school. Blue uniforms of mail carriers, police officers, healthcare workers. Blue mailboxes waiting for letters. Blue awnings shading storefronts. Blue boats bobbing in harbors. Blue ceramic tiles in swimming pools. Blue forget-me-nots in spring gardens. Blue hydrangeas in summer. Blue morning glories climbing fences. Blue damselflies hovering over ponds. Blue dragonflies catching midges. Blue eggs in robin nests. Blue feathers of jays scolding from trees. Blue butterflies landing on wildflowers. Blue crayons drawing pictures. Blue chalk on sidewalks. Blue paint on canvases. Blue thread in embroidery. Blue beads on bracelets. Blue glass in bottles catching light. Blue neon signs glowing at dusk. Blue headlights of newer cars. Blue flame of pilot lights. Blue pool water on hot days. And personal blues. The blue of a childhood bedroom. The blue of a favorite blanket. The blue of a car that took you on adventures. The blue of someone's eyes who made you feel something. The blue of a place you felt at peace. The blue of a moment you'll never forget. Your life is full of blues, each one carrying meaning, each one a small story, each one connecting you to this color that humans once didn't even name, this color that became our favorite, this color that surrounds us now like the atmosphere itself.
We've completed our journey, from ancient pigments to modern screens, from butterfly wings to distant galaxies, from the depths of the ocean to the heights of the atmosphere. Blue is the last color we named, but the first color we loved. Blue is rare in nature, yet surrounds us constantly. Blue calms us, inspires us, connects us, occasionally saddens us. Blue is chemistry and physics and structure and light. Blue is art and science and culture and emotion. Blue is the color of the planet we live on, seen from space. Blue is the color of trust, of technology, of infinity, of peace. Blue burns hottest, dives deepest, flies highest, lasts longest. And so, our journey through the color blue comes to a close. We've traveled together through so many facts, from ancient caves to modern screens, from the smallest molecules to the vastness of space, from the hands of artists to the rhythms of nature itself.
The color blue has revealed itself to us as more than just a wavelength of light. It's a thread woven through human history, a presence in your daily life, a bridge between science and soul.
As you drift now toward sleep, let these stories of the color blue settle softly in your mind. Tomorrow, when you see blue in the world around you, in the sky, in objects, in moments of your day, perhaps you'll notice it differently. Perhaps you'll see not just a color, but the centuries of meaning, the natural wonders, the human connections that color carries. If you've enjoyed this journey, there are more colors waiting for you in the Colors of Life series. Each one has its own story to tell, its own secrets to share, its own way of helping you find peace at the end of the day. But for now, simply rest, let go completely, and know that the color blue, like all colors, will be there when you wake, painting your world, connecting you to something larger, reminding you of the beauty that exists in the simplest things. Thank you for spending this time with me. Sleep well and dream in color.
Thanks for watching. And as always, if you want us to cover a topic you like, leave a comment below. If you enjoy this video, consider giving it a like, and also subscribe to our channel so that you always know when the next video is released. By doing this, you help us not only grow, but continue to make content just like this. Thank you.